Everyone, Alix Lynx here. Welcome back to another episode, and today I'm excited because I'm going to share with you some of my quick tips for creating an effective daily routine. And I, for one, am a girl who loves a routine. And I think at this point in my life, I have it pretty nailed down to almost a science. It's an art and a science, and I wanted to share my hot tips with you. Because regardless of how you like to spend your days, if you want to have a life, in my eyes, if you want to have a life that in which you're continuing to progress forward every single day, no matter how, whether it's baby steps or giant leaps, it doesn't matter as long as you're moving forward. And it also doesn't matter, by the way, regardless of whether you're talking about your career or maybe you just have some personal goals, maybe you have some fitness goals, whatever it is, I have some hot tips for you. So let's get into it. Number one, I'm a big believer of sticking to a routine. And by that I mean you don't have to be super rigid about it, but you should have a certain framework with how you're going to do your day. So let's say, for example, if you have a goal that you want to get toned this year, right, at the gym. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is say, well, what do I need to do to get toned up at the gym? What do I need to do to have a hot, fit body, right? And then you want to break down every step that it's going to take to get you there, right? So number one would be like, well, I can get up and I can go to the gym 3 times a day. Or 3 times a week, not 3 times a day, don't do that. 3 times a week. And once you have that in mind, then you can look at your schedule and see where throughout the week is that going to fit. And it doesn't have to be the same time every day. That's what I like to do, but you can really make it flexible. Make it as flexible as you want. I think people run into trouble when they try to stay too rigid. And let's say you're a morning person and you miss your morning gym routine and you say, well, the rest of my day is just completely screwed up. Like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. You can go for 15 minutes at night because you're still showing up and you're still putting in the work, again, no matter, even if it's just baby steps, right? So figure out where throughout your week that's going to work. And then from there, you want to also kind of get more granular with it and say, well, what can I do today? What can I do today to get closer to my goal, right? And that's where part of the daily routine comes in, because you want to ask yourself that every single day. And again, it doesn't matter how big or how small. I want you to be like gentle with yourself, you know? So let's say you want to get toned, you want to get fit this year. Well, what's the first thing you can do today to make that part of your routine? Probably waking up and starting your day off on a great note. So maybe you're going to chug water before you have your cup of coffee in the morning. Maybe you're going to have water and coffee in the morning and then you go right to the gym from there because you're all fired up from that coffee. You know what I mean? And you do that and maybe you only have 20 minutes to spare in the morning, and that's okay because you're still giving yourself time and you're still doing something good for yourself, and you're in and out in 20 minutes. You go home. And that's that. So it's kind of just rinse and repeat the same thing every single day. And don't get discouraged if, let's say let's say that your schedule doesn't allow you to go for an hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. I think as long as you're actually showing up for yourself, that is the key, and that is all that really matters. Now, the next thing you want to do is this is something that I do. I'll pick 3 of the biggest tasks, like the biggest things that are going to push me the most forward towards my goals every single day. So instead of making a long, lengthy to-do list that can get really overwhelming and get really daunting, pick your top 3 and then write it down and check each item off, right? So that way, every time you complete your task, you get to physically check it off. You see it crossed off. That is so satisfying. And then if you complete 3 of your tasks that you needed to complete a day, let's say you have another to-do list, you have more tasks to do, add one more thing in, add a bonus thing in. You know, it feels so good to do that. And if you get everything done, give yourself a little treat. Reward yourself. I'm a big believer in rewarding yourself, whether that means, okay, I did all 3 of these things. Now I get to just walk down the street and get my favorite matcha latte. Or now I get to go out to lunch with my friend because I did all these things. So reward yourself. I promise you this works. So I just wanted to share these quick tips with you. I hope this was helpful in helping you create an effective daily routine. Again, no matter how big or small your goals are, no matter how how much or how little you progress every single day. All that matters is that you are progressing, even baby steps every single day. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.